Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I want to get to this. You see that blob that is in the Western Caribbean. We have been talking about this together since last week, and you see it now kind of forming with a big cluster of rain and storms. We had rain and storms in Belize, and what I want to do in this video is take you through this out in time. I'm going to zoom down into the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, look at Haiti, Cuba, the Bahamas, and another tropical wave moving toward Trinidad, Guyana, watching us all across the board. So lots to cover, and I'm going to get into that in this video. We have that high threat of flooding, especially after the rain we had last week. This is going to be in some of the same spots. So as expected, I mentioned yesterday, not all of us in Belize would get some rain, but the rain chance was ticking up, and that's what happened. We had some thunderstorms even this morning in still northern coastline of Honduras, and look how this just kind of pivots its way toward the Cayman Islands, watching Jamaica, big blob of rain. Now, it is not organized. I'm not seeing any tropical development out of this, but this is clearly a hot spot so far this season, the Western Caribbean, and later in the month there could actually be some tropical development in the Western Caribbean. More on that in a second. Now, a couple things going on out here. Look at that spin up by the Azores. There are some signs that may develop a little bit elsewhere. A new tropical wave coming off. And again, a couple tropical waves now in the Caribbean. A new one just passed by over toward Trinidad last night. Not a ton of moisture with it, but the rain chance is going higher as a whole. It's getting higher as a whole. And in Guyana, the flood threat getting higher along with Suriname. I'm going to dive into that further. Now, here's that spot out toward the Azores. Even the National Hurricane Center, keep an eye on that. It may become a little subtropical in nature, but as of now, not tropical in nature. One spot way the heck out there, just trying to cover everything for you in case you hear of anything. That's the spot. It is very, very far away, of course. Thinking of our friends over toward the Azores with some stormier weather and higher seas the next couple of days. Eastern Pacific side, blobs of rain, but not seeing any signs of development. So let me do this first. I want to start wide, and then I want to zoom down, and I'll zoom down even further with some of those rain totals. So hang with me. So a couple shots of the model here. Again, this is this afternoon. Look at that rain. This is the day it starts to move into the Cayman Islands, inching toward Jamaica. Jamaica, even if you don't get rain in some spots, you're going to know something's nearby. A lot of clouds will start to move in, and we'll see that later and later in the day. And then this blob of rain moving toward Cuba, Guyana, and Trinidad. Look at tonight and tomorrow. That rain chance getting higher. I'm going to break that down in a second further. Now, here's the deal tomorrow. Look at this. And this is how close of a call it's going to be with the flooding. And you see why. It's these bands of rain, these long stretches of rain coming really from Panama. So it's just going to be, will this band of rain be here or will it be more over here? It's going to be kind of a wait and see on that. But either way, high chance of rain all the way through Thursday in Jamaica, mainly off to the west of Haiti at this point. But we're going to see scattered storms, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, blobs of rain, central and southern Bahamas near the Turks and Caicos, and again, central, eastern Cuba through the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, watching that chance of rain. But you see again the rain picking up later in the week, watching that. Over toward Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados, hit or miss showers, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ABC Islands, we have been way too dry. Some spots too dry. Puerto Rico, not a lot. We have been so hot in spots. So I'm thinking of you as well if you haven't gotten the rain. Now let me shrink this down and zoom in. So here's this area of rain I've been watching. Same area that brought some of the rain and storms to parts of Belize last night. Here's Trinidad, Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, ABC Islands, Puerto Rico right there, taking out in time. And again, this is by tomorrow morning. So stopping it tomorrow morning. Wet at times tomorrow morning. The Bahamas, Cuba, Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. So we're not looking at afternoon stuff. This is a bigger area of rain that is sliding in. Morning and night and afternoon will have that potential of getting some rain. Same spots we saw last week. So again, with that, and I'll get into the totals in a second, that higher chance of flooding. This is tomorrow afternoon. Showers around Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname, seeing a high chance of rain, isolated flooding and potential. And again, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, over toward Montserrat, Anguilla, way too dry. British U.S. Virgin Islands, same thing. Now going forward, this is by the time we get into our Thursday morning. So this is Thursday morning. Still rain around in parts of Jamaica. Scattered showers, Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Areas of heavy rain, Cuba, and still near the Cayman Islands. Close call late on Thursday, how close it's going to be. Some of that rain trying to shift off to the east, but still, we're talking about days and days of rain for some of us. On top of the rain we had last week, this is going to lead to some flooding, and again, these new tropical waves that continue to slide in to the southeastern Caribbean. So again, definitely on the busy side. Now, let me get a look at a 3-day rain total. So this is through today, through Wednesday, into Thursday night. This is the Eastern Caribbean. Problem here, because it is way too dry, hit or miss shower Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, Antigua, Barbuda, mainly on the dry side. I'll dive into some specific forecasts further. But over toward Trinidad and Tobago with those new tropical waves moving in, some spots could get 50 millimeters of rain. Guyana, big problem spot, over 75 millimeters of rain. We'll have some spots over 100 millimeters of rain. That's 4 inches of rain. So Guyana, please keep me posted in the comments. We are going to see some flooding in areas. Same thing, watching Suriname, but Guyana the focus. And again, watching that rain trying to drift a little bit closer to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, let me take you elsewhere. Again, Puerto Rico, mainly on the dry side. Now, as we slide a little bit more to the central and western Caribbean, look at Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire. Had to be lucky to get a shower. We have been baking, and we have been way too dry. Here's where the heavy rain is. Areas of heavy rain. Panama, Costa Rica, parts of Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize. This is kind of already panned out. Scattered showers and storms. The bigger blob of rain here, and this is the concern. Cayman Islands back through Jamaica. HAITI will see a better chance of getting some totals of 25 millimeters, a little bit more in spots, not as much over toward the Dominican Republic. So as promised, I want to kind of focus in where the weather is, where the big flood potential is. Here's South Florida, you get over toward the Bahamas. Not as much northern Bahamas, but central Bahamas, that higher chance of rain right through central and eastern Cuba, Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. Look at this white shading. That's over 100 millimeters of rain. It's not, this is a model, so not all of us are going to get it, but it's telling me we have that moisture available in the atmosphere, and you see it for yourself this morning and today with that big blob out in the Western Caribbean. So the rain is there, and it's going to hit some of us. So watching the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, parts of Cuba, the Bahamas, we will have some spots for a 3-day total easily over 100 millimeters of rain, and we had that in some spots last week. So if the same spots get it, that is going to lead to a bigger concern with the flooding. Here's a closer look. My friends in the Cayman Islands, get over toward the east end. We could see anywhere from 75 millimeters of rain. Could be more. Little Cayman, we could get 100 millimeters of rain. Again, here, looking at a 3-day total in the Cayman Islands. Jamaica, and this is a good sample. So you see this white shading here near Kingston. This model, this particular model, showing 100 millimeters of rain for a 3-day total, but it could be a little bit more over here or it could be a little bit more offshore. Again, few miles makes a big difference in the tropics with these tropical downpours. Some spots can get not a whole lot, and we saw that last week in Jamaica. Other spots could just get dumped on, but as a whole, we're looking at 50 millimeters to 100 millimeters of rain, and again, it could be a little bit more in some locations depending on how these bands kind of stretch in from the Caribbean as we go through the day. So let me get into some specific forecasts, and then I want to talk about development later this month. So today in Belize, 40% chance of scattered showers and storms. We've already had that. 30% chance Wednesday and Thursday. We had some rain around Belize City overnight. Now, Cayman Islands, look at that rain chance going up. We'll get a hint of it today. As the day goes on, the rain chance goes up, and then tomorrow, an 80% chance of wet weather. Flooding is a concern across the Cayman Islands. Use this video as your early heads up. Thank you for sharing this channel with others across the area to let them know as well what is going on. I want to give you that advanced warning of what's coming next in the forecast. Jamaica, rain chance just going up. This 60% chance is mainly later today, and again, as I mentioned, tonight and tomorrow morning, we'll have some rain around in some spots, and again, increasing further through Wednesday and Thursday. Could even see some showers lingering into Friday. Bahamas, it is split. Rain chance about 60% on Thursday, but again, it depends on where you are. Northern Bahamas, extreme northern Bahamas better, extreme southern Bahamas near the Turks and Caicos better. It's everything in between that is going to see some of that heavier rain. HAITI, again, about 50 to 60% chance. Heaviest areas, or at least the larger areas, will stay off to the west for the most part, but scattered showers and storms, my friends in HAITI, will lead to some isolated flooding at those river crossings, and then we get onto the flip side of things. Aruba, way too dry. 5 to 10% chance of a shower, that's all. St. Kitts and Nevis, rain chance on Thursday, about 20%. Seen some signs of changes with these tropical waves moving in, but they need to nudge a little bit more to the north. St. Lucia, about a 30 to 40% chance of some spotty showers. Same thing over toward Barbados. Trinidad and Tobago, though, the rain chance, little elevated. Not all of us get the rain. The more south you are, the better chance of getting some rain in Trinidad and Tobago. Then, of course, Guyana, we're looking at a a 90 to 100% chance of rain today and tomorrow. Flooding, a big concern in Guyana. Again, share this channel, let folks know what's going on. I showed you that rain that's moving in. We have lots of spots to cover. I showed you that area of rain that is going to slide in, a new tropical wave that just moved in, increasing that chance of rain. Now, as we get into the hurricane season this month, usually there's a named storm or two out there. We already had one, a brief one, Arlene, in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, there are some signs, as I mentioned, later this month. I watched kind of the overall trends and patterns. It looks like the Western Caribbean has been the hotspot for getting development. The jet stream's been going overhead, a lot of energy there. So it would not be surprising to see a system try to develop, say, near Jamaica, maybe the 20th to 25th of June. So I'm going to be watching that prospect very carefully for you. I do expect some development later this month, which is not uncommon, but what I want to do is kind of fine tune where that could be. And right now, watching areas of the Western Caribbean. So rain chance going up, not just in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Cuba, Bahamas, but watching that over toward Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago. 2 tropical waves are now in the Caribbean. But other spots, water restrictions in place. And I want to give a heads up, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, over toward Antigua, we're going to see more dust moving in. So if you're not dealing with the rain, on the flip side, we're dealing with the water shortages in spots and more Saharan dust that is moving across. We're going to see a little bit more, especially as we get into Wednesday. And then, as I mentioned, later this month, a spin up of some sort is possible. And I'll keep an eye on the volcanoes and the ash around on Earth QC. You could search that on YouTube. So clearly tons going on. Thinking of you if you're dealing with the flooding. Again, that blob of rain I showed it to you, it's moving in for many of us. Please keep me posted in the comments. Thank you for sharing this channel. This is your weather community. I hope you have a good day ahead.